All right, welcome back to Math with Mr. Strands. This is Matthew C, Algebra 1, Lesson 14C, talking about solving system of equations using substitution. Okay, so let's jump right in. So for number 1 through 3, it gives us these two equations, y equals x plus 1 and y equals 2x minus 2. Okay, so for number 1, I'm just going to sketch and estimate the solution. The first thing you want to make sure of before you do this is that both of these equations are in slope-intercept form. You can see that both of them are good to go. So let's go ahead and just graph them. I'm going to graph the first one with red. Okay, so y equals x plus 1. So I'm going to plot my plus 1 because that's my y-intercept. It's going to go right there. And my slope is x, which just means up 1 over 1. Okay, so there's my first line. I'm going to go ahead and draw it. Okay, my second line I will do with black, or green actually. So we got y equals 2x minus 2, so I'm going to go down 2 as my y-intercept, negative 2, and then 2x, so up 2 over 1, 1, 2 over 1. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and graph that one. Get that right on there. Okay, and it looks like they should be meeting at this point, maybe right here. Okay, it says estimate the solution. So I'm just going to estimate that this point would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 4, 6. We'll see if we're right later on. 4, 6. All right, so now we're going to use the substitution method to find x. All right, so y equals x plus 1 and y equals 2x minus 2. I'm going to plug in this equation, x plus 1, into y right here. So instead of y equals 2x plus 2, it's going to be x plus 1 equals 2x minus 2. And this will be able to tell me what x is. So I'm going to subtract my x from here, subtract my x from here. I have 1 equals x minus 2. If I add 2 here, add 2 here, x equals 3. Okay, so I can see that x is going to equal 3. And already you know that my estimation from number 1 is wrong, right? Good thing it was just an estimation, because I have 4, 6. Right? So that means I must have drawn my line a little off. Okay, and I'm actually going to go back and redo my lines just to make sure. So x plus 1, so here's 1, up 1 over 1. So that one was definitely right. They might have been right, I just might not have drawn my lines straight enough. Okay, then 2x minus 2, so down 2, up 1, 2 over 1. I don't think I drew my second line steep enough. There we go. And now they meet at this point right here, which is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to change this. It's actually going to be 3. That's a better estimate. Let's see if I'm right now. Okay. So now we got to find y. So I'm just going to take my x that I found, which was 3, and I'm going to plug it back into either one of these equations up top. It does not matter which one. You should still get the same answer. I'm just going to do it on the first one. So I have y equals x plus 1. Instead of putting x in, I'm going to put what I just got for x, which is 3, add 1 to it, and you can see that y equals 4, which is a very good sign because it matches up with my points up there, 3 and 4. Okay, let's move on, number 4 through 6. I guess it wants you to use the same graph. Okay, so I am going to erase my information from this graph up here. I'm going to do that again. Okay, so I'm going to first graph. First, you need to see if they're in slope-intercept form. None of these. You got y minus x equals 4. and you got y plus 2x equals 1. None of these are in slope-intercept form. So first, let's put them in slope-intercept form. So y minus x equals 4. I'm going to write it down here. Y minus x. I need to put this in slope-intercept form. So to do that, I'm going to add my x here and add x over here. So now I got y equals x plus 4. Okay, and now it's in slope-intercept form. Okay, so I'm going to write this down here. Y equals x plus 4. Okay, my second equation, y plus 2x equals 1 is not in slope-intercept form either. So I'm going to do this also. I'm going to subtract 2x here, subtract 2x here. Y equals negative 2x plus 1. Okay, and now that is in slope-intercept form. Okay, so I'm going to move this up here. Okay, so now those are in slope-intercept form. So I'm going to go ahead and graph both of those. First one I'm going to do red, so y equals x plus 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. First point goes right here, and x, so up 1 over 1. All right, I'm going to do my second point in green. We got y equals negative 2x plus 1, so plus 1 right here. And then negative 2x, so down 2, 1, 2 over 1. Okay, let's plot those lines. There's my first one and my second one. Gotta line those up exactly. There you go. And it looks like they meet right here, which that point would be negative 1, positive 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to estimate negative 1, positive 1, 2, 3. Okay, so now we're going to use the substitution method to find x. So again, I'm going to take my x plus 4, I'm going to substitute it in for y. So it's now going to become x plus 4 equals negative 2x plus 1. All right, so I'm going to add 2x to this side, add 2x to this side. I got 3x plus 4 equals 1. If I subtract 4, I got 3x equals a negative 3. Divide by 3, divide by 3, x equals negative 1. That's a good start because that's what I estimated my x to be. So x equals negative 1. All right, now we're going to find y. I'm going to erase this here. Okay, so to find y, I'm just going to plug in my negative 1 now. So I got y equals, it was x plus 4, but now it's going to be negative 1 plus 4, and that shows me that y equals negative 3. Oops, I mean positive 3. Y equals positive 3, and that's also a good sign because that's what I had as my estimate. So there you go. Okay, you notice both of these match up, which is good. That's what you want. Okay, so number 7, find the slope through 4, 5, and 1, 3, and I'm going to use this equation that they give me. So remember, this is going to be my first x value, second x value, first y value, second y value. Okay, so I have 3 minus 5 over 1 minus 4. It's going to be a negative 2 over negative 3, which turns into a positive 2/3 as my slope. Okay, find the y-intercept of the line in number 7. Okay, so to find y-intercept, I'm going to write out my slope-intercept form equation, okay, which is y equals, I now know my slope, which is 2/3 x plus b, and we're trying to find out what b is. So in order to do that, I need to get my points for x and y. Okay, so I can either take 4, 5 or 1, 3. It does not matter which one. I'm going to actually choose 1, 3. And I'll explain why here in a second. Actually, no, it doesn't matter. Either one would work, but I'm going to choose 1, 3. So remember, this is your x, this is your y. So I'm going to plug in those 2 points now. So I'm going to have 3 equals 2/3 x, which is times 1, plus b. And we're trying to find out what b is, our y-intercept. Okay, so we get 3 equals 2/3 plus b. I need to get rid of this 2/3 and move it over to the other side. So you need to subtract 2/3 from each side. So you're going to have 3/1 minus 2/3. You need to get a common denominator, which is going to be 3. That's going to stay the same. This was times 3, so that has to be times 3. So 9 minus 2, which is 7/3, equals b. Right, so b is going to equal 7/3, which that is 2 1/3. Okay, so now number 9, describe the line in 7 using slope-intercept form and then standard form. So slope-intercept form is going to be y equals 2/3 x plus 2 1/3. Okay, standard form, remember, is ax plus by equals c. Can't have any fractions, so we're going to have to remove those. So if I subtract my 2/3 x, it's really going to be negative 2/3 x plus y equals 2 1/3. But you don't want any, 2 1/3. You don't want any fractions. And this is a, can't be a negative number. Okay, so I'm going to multiply everything by a -3. That's going to get rid of my fractions and get rid of my negative. Okay, so these cancel out. And negative times a negative is now going to give me a positive 2x. Okay, minus, because you took a -3 times y, which is -3y, equals, and if I multiply this by 3, those cancel, and I just have 2. -3, -2. I have a -2. Okay, so there you go. That's standard form. 2x minus 3y equals -2. All right, number 10, find the slope of a line parallel to y equals -4/3x minus 2 1/3 that passes through the point 2, 2. Well, remember, all slopes of parallel lines are the same. Okay, so it's going to have the same slope. All right, so we just got to find out what that y-intercept is going to be. That's going to be the different part. So it tells us our point 2, 2. So I'm going to plug those into the equation. So I got 2 equals, my slope's going to be the same, -4/3. I need to multiply this by 2. And we're looking for our new y-intercept. Okay, so that's going to be 2 equals -8/3 plus b. So to get b, I need to add 8/3 to both sides. Okay, so add 8/3. So I have 2/1 plus 8/3. My common denominator is going to be 3 again. This is going to stay the same, times 3 times 3, so 6 plus 8 is 14/3, which is the same as 4 2/3. Okay, so my new slope, or the slope was always the same. It's, in fact, I did too much work on that problem. It just says find the slope of a line parallel. Well, the slope's going to be the same, so -4/3. I didn't have to do all that work, but I just wanted to show you that this was the new y-intercept. So your new equation would be y equals -4/3x plus 4 2/3. Okay, number 11 answers that question then. Find the y-intercept. We just did. It's 4 2/3. Okay, number 10, describe the line. Number 10, describe the line in using slope-intercept form. I just did. It's right here. And standard form though. So now we got to change this into standard form. So we have y equals -4/3 x plus, I'm going to keep this as an improper fraction, which is 14/3. Okay. So ax plus by equals c. So I'm going to add 4/3 to both sides. So that's now going to become 4/3x plus y equals 14 over 3. I cannot have a fraction. Okay, so I'm going to multiply everything by a positive 3 over 1. That cancels out the 3, so now I got 4x plus 3y equals 14. If you multiply this by 3, those cancel out. Okay, and that's standard form right there. All right, number 13, fill in the blanks so that each value in the second line is the same as the value directly above it. Fill in the blanks so that each value in the second line is the same as, oh, okay. So if we look at this right here, 1 squared is just going to be 1, same value, okay? What squared equals 4? So 2 squared is going to be 4. 3 squared is 9. 4 squared is 16. 5 squared is going to be 25. 6 squared, not to the 6 squared, is going to be 36. 7 squared is going to be 49. 8 squared gives you 64. 9 squared gives you 81. 10 squared is 100. 11 squared is 121. 12 squared is 144. 13 squared is 169. 14 squared, I don't know that one off the top of my head, so let's do it real quick. 14 times 14, that's 16 fives. It's 196. And then they have 15 squared, which is 225 on there for you. Okay. 14 through 16. Use a USA map to find the following information. Assume 25 miles per gallon and 50 miles per hour. I don't have a map. Let me find it. Let me see if I can get one. Day 1, travel between Seattle and San Francisco. How far will we go? Okay, well, I'm just going to pull up my Google Maps and I'm going to search. Give me 1 second here. Google Maps. I'm going to search how many miles it is from Seattle to San Francisco. So Seattle, directions, San Francisco. Okay, it is 808 miles. Okay, so I'm just going to do, it's 808 miles. Okay, how far will we go? So use a USA map to find the following. Assume 25 and 50 miles per hour. I don't understand what they're asking. Day 1, travel between Seattle and San Francisco. How far will we go? I just told you 808 miles. I don't understand that question. We're moving on. Number 15, we just get out your Google map and look at it. Not too hard. Number 15, we leave at 7:35 a.m. and our ETA is, okay, so 25 miles per gallon and 50 miles per hour. Okay, so if they leave at 7:35, let's see how long it will take them. So 808 miles, 25 miles per gallon, 50 miles per hour. So we just need to do 808 divided by 50, right? 808 divided by 50. That would give us about 16.16. Again, I am not sure what they're asking. I know that they're asking what time will they arrive. So let me read this again. Assume 25 miles per gallon and 50 miles per hour. Day 1, they traveled between Seattle and San Francisco. How far will we go? Okay, so the total distance is 808. I think they're asking, they're not expecting to go the whole amount in one day. So 25 miles per gallon and 50 miles per hour. Depends what kind of, let's see, 25 miles per gallon and 50 miles per hour. Let's see, give me a second. I'm going to pull this up and see. This is, okay, so I want to make sure I know what they're asking. So give me 1 second. I'm going to pull this up so I can look at it. Okay, so 14C. I'm not a huge fan of these questions because they need to be much more clear about what they're asking. So yeah, they say that it's about 820 miles from Seattle to San Francisco. Google Maps told me it was 808. Google Maps is never wrong, so I'm going with Google Maps. So 808 divided by 50 miles per hour. That's where I went wrong, right? So they need to do 808 divided by 50 miles per hour. Yeah, so it's about 16.16 hours. So 16 hours approximately. Okay, so 16 hours from 7:35. There we go. Okay. I was wondering if they're asking. So 7:35, if you leave at 7:35, oops, 35. Okay. So about 16 hours is going to give you roughly about midnight, right? 11:30. Yeah, so approximately 11:30 at night. Not a huge fan of that question. 11:30. Okay, so 7:35, if you add 16 hours to that, okay, you get about 23.35, which in military time is about 11:35 p.m. if you want to be exact. So I guess I need to change this to 11:35. Okay. Number 16, how much gas is consumed? Okay, and gas is $1, about $1.27. Okay, so if they go 808 miles, you need to divide that by 25 miles per gallon. Okay, so 808 miles divided by 25 miles per gallon. Okay, that's going to be about 32.32. So they're going to use about 32 gallons. All right, and 32 gallons times $1.27. You get approximately $41. So times $1.27, you get approximately $41. Okay, then number 17, right? 12, 13 as a decimal rounded into the nearest thousand. Okay, so to do that, you're just going to do 12 divided by 13. Okay, 13 goes into 12 0 times, but it goes into 120. Approximately, let's see, 113 goes approximately 9 times, right? If we do 13 times 9, it's 27. So 117, yeah, so 9 times, which is 117. 13 goes into 30 twice, which would give us 26. 13 goes into 40 3 times, which is 39. It's going to keep going. 0 times. So nearest thousandth is 0.923. Okay, distribute, number 18, distribute A, and then in parentheses, 2A minus A plus 3. So A times 2A is actually going to give us 2A squared. Okay, when you multiply an A times another variable, and when you multiply a variable times another variable, it squares it. So you're going to have 2A squared minus A squared plus 3A. Okay, is 97 prime or composite? So what does prime or composite mean? Prime means that it can only be multiplied by 1 and itself to get that product of 97. Composite means you can take two numbers and multiply them together to get 97. I believe that 97 is going to be a prime number. Okay, there are no two numbers that you can multiply by to get to 97. I'm trying to think. 3 won't work, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Nope. So 97 is going to be a prime number. Okay, what is the least common multiple of 6 and 4? Okay, so if we look at 4, we look at 6, list out all the multiples. We got 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. Okay, 6, we have 6, 12, 18. You already see right here the least common is going to be 12. Okay, a bunch of just random problems they threw at us at the end there. Okay, so that is lesson 14C of Matthew C, Algebra 1.